Okay, we're back now. We're going to look at my notes. The one note that popped out to me that was really important from the video, I thought was all about colds and the flu are caused by viruses, not cold weather. I thought that was just a really good thing to know and just note. And, I talked all about in the video that, you get it easily by breathing in those viruses, the things that make you sick. Or if you touch something where those viruses are and you touch your face, like your nose, your eyes, if it goes in through your mouth or your nose, your eyes, easiest way for viruses to get in your body. That's why it's so important to wash hands. Try not to touch your face too much when you've been around like any public place, like going out to stores or even the playgrounds, even at school, just touching so many germs, like so many of those viruses and those different kinds of germs everywhere. Okay, so remember you need at least one more key detail, but you can use mine, but you need at least one more. So you can pause the video to add this to your own, and go back watch the video if you need to. But you need at least two. Okay, so the second part of this is looking at the article. So I'm going to go back into Schoology. Here we go. And so I'm going to be looking at now. So step 4 was open this movie, watch, and take notes. Now it's step 5. Read along with me and take notes. What are viruses and tips how to battle, you can't see the whole title, but battle the cold and the flu. I'm going to open that up. It's a great Newsella article. It's called What are Viruses and Tips How to Battle Cold and the Flu. I'm going to look at this caption first. So Tori Jewett looks on as her roommate Donnie Cardenas recovers from the flu at the Palomar Medical Center in Escondido, California. So she's wearing a mask. A lot of times if you are healthy but you go around somebody who's sick, like at hospitals, doctor's offices, even sometimes just around when a lot of people are sick, people like to wear masks to keep those viruses out. Like I said, easy to get in through your nose and your mouth, or if you touch your face after you touch something where a virus was. That's why people like to wear those masks, to keep themselves healthy. Okay, so this first part is just an introduction. I'm not going to take any notes from it, but just some good background information. The holidays are also the time for the cold and flu. People get sick in winter. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is a U.S. government group. It studies diseases. The center says that the average person gets 2 to 3 colds each year. Most colds happen in the winter and spring. Each year, the country sees 9.3 to 49 million flu cases. The cold and flu are caused by viruses. These are tiny things that can make you sick. They also spread easily. Viruses are strong in our warm bodies, but they're weak in the cold, dry world. So the next section is called Viruses Take Over Living Cells. And that's where the note taker starts. Viruses take over living cells. So I'm going to read this to you, and you're going to hear me kind of thinking out my thought process for trying to get a key detail. I'm going to give you one. You have to get at least two. So I'm going to read down at the bottom where it says viruses are not really alive. Viruses are not really alive. They are pieces of genetic code, or DNA and RNA. These things are like instructions for the body. In animals, they tell the body how to grow. For viruses, the genetic code, going to page 2, material is used to make more viruses. The cold and flu viruses are protected in protein coats in layers of fat. Viruses cannot make more viruses on their own. They must take over the cells of a living creature. Dr. Anthony Fauci runs a government health group. He studies what makes people sick. Fauci says, we should not say a virus is alive. Instead, we should say that the virus can still make people sick. A virus must be whole to make someone sick. So there's a lot of good things in there. I think the one that I like is that viruses are not really alive. It's just something that when it goes into you, it's basically like a set of instructions for your body. It basically tells the cells in your body to make more virus cells. So it's not something that's not like a little tiny bug that's crawled into your body. They really aren't alive. So I'm going to write that as my key detail. I thought that was interesting. Viruses are not alive. They are instructions for your body to make new virus cells. So, kind of weird. but it's also good to know that it's not like some living little thing in you. Okay, so you have to get at least one more key detail. So you can go back and listen to me reading that, or you can reread it yourself to get one more key detail. Next section is flu virus can last for 9 hours. Okay. A flu virus can last for 9 hours. Flu viruses may not last long. Dr. Jane Gretorix studies viruses. She found that the flu virus can last for 9 hours sometimes. It falls apart after 4 hours on other surfaces. The viruses last longer on smooth, hard surfaces. And so basically, after that bit of time, they fall apart and they can't work anymore. Basically, the instructions crumble. Common cold viruses last about a day. Our skin is good at breaking down viruses, said Dr. Gretorix. Our hands are a bad place for viruses to live. So that's why if you have it on your hand, you're totally fine. But when you touch your eyes or your mouth or your nose and you have a virus on it, that's when it can get inside of you. So I'm thinking here, what would be good? I like the part about how long they can last, like that the cold can last about a day. Viruses, I really like the part that its hands are a bad place for them to live. So I'm going to jot that one down. Hands are bad places. I'm going to change that though. Are hard places for viruses to live. Cool. I like that one. You have to get at least one more. So go back and you can listen to me read it again, or you can read it yourself. Next section is viruses do poorly in dry places. So viruses do poorly in dry places. Cold and flu viruses are enveloped viruses. They are covered in protein and fat. Dr. Gretorix said the protein is easily damaged. Then the virus falls apart. Basically, a virus is, it's like I said, like it's a set of instructions. It's a little tiny cell. And like our bodies are made of, every living thing is made of lots of cells. And a cell by itself is really nothing. But so this little virus cell has basically an armor protection. It's made of protein and fat. But that it's really easy to destroy it. That's why it doesn't last very long. I mean, a day sometimes can be a long time, but it can also be destroyed pretty easy. So I'm going to read it. Dr. Paul Allwater. Dr. Paul Allwater works at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. He runs the Department of Diseases. He said viruses do well in warm, moist places, like our bodies. In dry places, they break down. Some surfaces are drier than others. Mucus is the watery stuff in our nose when we have a cold. It is damp. When we sneeze, the virus is protected by the mucus. It can last longer because of it. Ooh. So I'm thinking there, I like the part that it just says that viruses are covered in fat and protein for protection, but it's not good protection. It can fall apart easily. I like knowing that. Just kind of just a nice thing to know that they are not super strong. That's why this next section is going to be so good. But remember, you need at least one more key detail. You can go back and reread it, re-listen to me read it. You just need at least one more key detail. Last one. Wipes and soap help break up the virus. Flu viruses do not last overnight. Still, Dr. Allwater says it's good to wipe down surfaces. People should use soap. Soap breaks up the virus. Scientists also recommend getting a flu shot. They say people should also cover their mouths when they sneeze. Finally, scientists say people should wash their hands. Hands can spread germs. Hand washing is the most important, Dr. Fauci said. And I think that right there is the key detail I'm going to use. Washing hands with warm water and soap is the best thing to do. Now, I hope you have noticed that I have not been copying anything. I've kind of taken everything that I've been learning and I've been putting things into my own words. So you need at least 2 more key details. or sorry, you need at least 2 key details for each of these. So even if you're using mine, just need one more, but try to come up with your own. Can rewatch this video again for any help, but have fun learning.